Hey, Janet. Do you think you'll be busy this afternoon? I don't think so. Why do you ask? Oh, it's nothing special. Your father-in-law has something he needs to take care of down at City Hall. As you know, though, driving all the way down there is a bit difficult for him these days, what with his joints acting up and all that. He was going to just take a taxi instead. But the taxi fees have increased so much these days. Of course, I understand. I'll take him over there for you. What time does he need to go? He said to be at our place by 2 o'clock, if you could. Jeez, I'm so glad that you live so close to our house. It makes me feel reassured that you'll always be here if we need to get something done last minute. Don't worry about asking me if I'm free next time. You can just go ahead and tell me to come over anytime you need me. Since I'm just a stay-at-home housewife, it's not like I ever have anything too important going on. I'm usually just cleaning up the house and doing odd chores here and there. I'll make sure to keep that in mind, dear. How is Jack doing? I haven't seen him in such a long time. I miss his cute little face. By any chance, do you think it would be possible to bring him with you when you stop by? I want to spend some time with him. You want me to bring Jack over? These days, the stubbornness has gotten so much worse. It's like he has an endless battery. If I brought him over, are you sure it wouldn't be too tiring for you to watch him? Isn't he turning 5 years old this year? Children are always like that around his age. I'll be fine, I'm used to it. Ethan and Becca were even more stubborn than him when they were that age. I'm telling you, it's fine. So go ahead and bring him. All right, I'll take your word for it then. I'll see you at your house soon. My mom mentioned to me that you stopped by their place with Jack. Yep. Your father had some business to take care of downtown and said that taking a taxi would have been way too expensive. I know that driving has been a bit difficult for him these days, so I just offered to drive him instead to save them both the hassle of trying to find a taxi and having to pay the insane fees. Your mom said she wanted to see Jack since I was headed there anyways, so I figured I would bring him with me so she could spend the afternoon with him. Thank you for always helping them out like that. I know that I should be the one doing stuff like that in the first place. I'm their son, after all. I know that I've been super busy nowadays. I appreciate all the work you've been doing to take care of the family while I'm away. I genuinely think asking you to marry me was the best decision I ever made. Come on, stop being so embarrassing. When you get married to someone, it's only natural that you take care of their parents as if they're your own. My mother did that with my grandmother-in-law, and I learned to do the same from her. Not to mention, there's no one that lives as close to your parents as us. Of course, we need to be the ones to take care of them. It just feels like a natural conclusion, that it's something that I should do. That all to say, you don't need to thank me for anything. Have you gotten off work yet? It seems like you had to stay late again today, too. Yeah, it seems like I'm going to have to do overnight shifts more often for the foreseeable future. How's Jack? Has he fallen asleep yet? He kept going on and on about how he was going to hold out and not sleep until you got back, but I just found him passed out on the sofa. He's so cute. I feel like I'm gonna explode. I don't blame him for falling asleep, though. At this point, I'm going on 9 hours of overtime. I wouldn't blame you either if you're too tired to wait for me and just turned in for the night. Honey, I promise I'll work as hard as I can to be able to be with both of you more. Oh, hush. You're already working hard enough as is for our sake. You don't need to start with that "I'll do better" nonsense. You're already a great husband, so don't worry about working yourself even harder. Even if we have to keep living like this for a little bit. As long as you can keep spending time with us every now and then as you have been, that's more than enough for me. Thank you for saying that, honey. I'm about to jump on the subway. I'll see you soon. Hey, Janet. Do you think you could come to our house tomorrow morning? Tomorrow morning? Yeah, of course I can, but is something wrong? No, nothing is wrong. Becca said that since she's going to be on vacation for a little bit, she decided she wanted to come down and visit us. But as luck would have it, tomorrow your father-in-law has his yearly health checkup scheduled and will be out of the house for a while. I can't cook anything for Becca myself, but I feel like she needs to be able to come home to a warm home-cooked meal since she hasn't been home in such a long time. Do you think you would be able to cook something for her instead of me? Ah, Becca is coming to visit? Yeah. As you know, we tried our best to give everything we could to Becca as she was growing up. I don't want this to be the first time we couldn't do something as easy as that for her. She's a horrible cook. Being away from home for so long has led her to just eat curry with instant rice and veggies that she heats up on the stove whenever she's hungry. Since she's coming all the way here to visit us, don't you think that she should be able to have a nutritious meal waiting for her for once? I can take care of lunch, but if you could just take care of breakfast, I would appreciate it a lot. Ah, I see. Of course I don't mind helping you out. I appreciate it. Oh, also, bring Jack with you. Becca keeps mentioning how much she wants to see him. Jack? But he usually goes to daycare in the morning. Oh, hush up. What's going to be the problem if he misses one day of daycare? His aunt, who hasn't been home in months, said that she wants to see her nephew. Are you telling me you can't even do that much for her? Yes, of course. Then I'll see you tomorrow morning, and I'll make sure to bring Jack with me. All right. You remember the door password to our house, right? Yes, I do. That's good. Make sure you make the food as delicious as possible. Becca said that she wants to eat French toast. If you look in the fridge, we should have everything you need to make it. So you'll be okay to make it, right? Yes, ma'am.
Hey sis! Sorry for reaching out to you so late. The breakfast you made was delicious. I was surprised at how much Jack has grown. I heard that if you stop looking at a child for a day, they'll be a completely different person when you look back. I guess that's true.
I'm glad that you enjoyed the meal. Jack is getting huge now, right? I swear he doubles in size every day.
If I think about it, I think that you might be a better cook than Mom. When I next come down to visit you guys, I'll have to ask for you to cook for me again. That's not a problem at all, right?
It's not necessarily uncomfortable, but... Becca, is it true that all you eat is instant meals and junk food?
Yeah, I guess that's correct. To be honest, I don't really know how to cook anything, and learning how to at this point would just be a pain. For people like me who live pretty far away from their family, there really aren't very many meals that are as convenient as fast food or frozen dinners. You can just make them whenever, and the instructions are all in the box. Why do you ask?
I just figured it might be good if you were able to learn how to cook a few things, even if they're just simple meals. By any chance, do you know how to make soup on the stove?
Mom always cooked for me in the past, so I never had a reason to learn how to. I eat a lot of cup ramen, though. That's fine enough for a meal, isn't it? It has everything you need to survive. If I come to Mom's house to visit, she always tells me to relax and just cooks for me anyhow, so why would I be worried about learning how to cook? That feels like it would just be a waste of time. I'm already busy enough as is. Since you already know how to, I can just leave it to you next time, too.
Next time it's possible that I may be too busy to come over and cook for you. You won't always have someone like me or Mom around to provide for you. Since making soup on the stove isn't too hard of an ask, I think it would be good to teach you how to make it. Even if it's just super simple ramen with nothing special in it.
That being said, I have a question for you. I'm curious. Isn't doing all of this stuff for us annoying for you?
Huh?
Since you live close to Mom and Dad, you're always running here and there doing whatever favors they ask of you. You came here first thing in the morning today just to cook for me. Doesn't something like that get kind of irritating after a while?
No way. You know me. With my personality, if I was ever annoyed, I would just tell people that I was annoyed. I don't see a point in putting up with people that treat me badly. I'm not the type of person to do things that I don't want to either. I was saying this to Ethan as well, but it's only natural that I would do things like this for you guys since I want to treat my in-laws like they're my own family. I do things like this for you guys because it makes me happy when I do. And I know that you would all do the same for me if I needed you to.
I always knew you were the best sister-in-law ever. This is why I like you so much. Then I guess I'll see you next time I visit home again.
Honey, I need to be honest with you.
Huh? What is it?
Well,
What's got you so nervous? Just tell me. Did you get into a car accident?
what are you talking about, car accident? You know I'm a great driver.
Then tell me what has you so anxious. You're making me anxious too at this point. Don't you know I hate keeping things from each other? Hurry up and tell me what's going on. We can deal with it together.
You know that my mom owns a building and some land, right?
Yeah, how could I not?
A little while ago, she decided which of us, between my siblings and I, would inherit it all once she passes away. She gave the land to my older brother and the building to my little sister.
What?
I was wondering if I should tell you about this or not. I've been worried about how I should go about breaking it to you for a long time. But eventually I decided that telling you would be better. She told me that I should take this to the grave and never speak a word of it to you. But I thought that it would be better if you knew.
Wait, what? If she gave away all of the land and the building that she owned to your older brother and younger sister, then are you saying that she doesn't plan on giving anything to you at all?
I'm the middle child. You know how it is. My brother is the firstborn, so she wanted to make sure that he had money to take care of the future head of this family. And my sister is the youngest, so she wanted to make sure that she would be okay financially when she passed away. You know how much she still babies her to this day. It can't really be helped. There's nothing to be done. I decided to not be greedy about things like that. I shouldn't worry about money and just focus on what I can do to secure my future myself. You don't need to worry, honey. We're already doing fine. We don't need anything big like that.
Are you some kind of pushover or something? You keep saying how you always try to be kind towards people no matter what. But this isn't that. It goes beyond being kind. It could affect our family's future. At this point, you're not being nice, you're just being a complete fool.
Come on, do you really need to phrase it like that? I'm your husband.
What did you expect me to say? That you should just shut your eyes and let your family walk all over you? You're such a fool for not even trying to put up a fight. You think it's okay to be treated like that just because you're the middle child? You don't care because your brother is the oldest and your sister is the youngest, so you shouldn't be mad that your mother left you nothing? You're the only person on planet Earth that would possibly feel that way when being told that. Regardless of if you're the second oldest or not, your mother should still leave you something. She's essentially telling you that she doesn't care about your ability to survive, about your family's future. Think about Jack. Don't you want to make sure that he can have a peaceful life when he gets older?
Honey, why are you getting so mad? So what if she didn't want to leave me any of her inheritance? It's not like there's really anything that can be done about it anyways. If that's what she decides she wants to do with her money, then no one can really expect her to do anything else. I don't really have any grand desires of being some rich person later on in life, and you know that I was never a very materialistic person to begin with. People these days need to be better at making do with what they have. Why are you being so sensitive over something like this?
Fine. If that's how you want to go through the rest of your life, so be it. That's your decision. Just concede on everything in your life going forward and let your brother and sister get everything since they're the oldest and youngest. Since apparently that's a reason to throw your future away. The thing is, now I'm really curious. Why did your mother tell you to take the secret to the grave? Why would it have been bad if you told me? That's what makes me the most mad about all of this. Did I do something wrong to your mother? Why does it feel like she dislikes me so much? I seriously can't understand it. We're a family. I went to her house when she told me to. I did whatever errand she wanted me to when she asked me to. I did everything I could to treat them like they were my own parents. And I treated your siblings as if they were my own too. Even if it was just a little bit. I thought that after all that I did for her, she would at least treat me like I was part of this family. No, this isn't right. I shouldn't be taking my anger out on you. If I have a problem, I should be talking about it directly with her. I'm going to call her and sort all of this out.
The situation is already done and over with. Why would you bother talking to her at this point? I don't think that anything will change, even if you do.
Just sit still and let me do this. If you open your mouth one more time, I really might explode for real. It's about time you let someone stand up for you for once.
Mother, don't you think you've crossed the line a little bit this time? What are you suddenly trying to accuse me of out of nowhere? What do you mean by crossing the line? What line have I crossed? Ethan told me about how you plan on splitting your inheritance. He told me that you were going to split your inheritance between your oldest son and youngest daughter and not leave a single thing behind for him. How do you know about that? I just said because Ethan told me. And he told me that you ordered him to never tell me about it. I didn't think it was true, so I reached out to you to see if it was. I thought we were a family. That's not the kind of thing family members keep from each other. That idiot can never keep his mouth shut. He's always caused problems for me throughout his life. How could you talk like that about your own son? I helped you because I genuinely wanted to, but even still, there's no one else that lives near you and is willing to help you out whenever you need us like we do. Whenever you needed our help, we were always the first people to immediately drop whatever we were doing to rush to your aid. When Dad lost consciousness early in the morning, we immediately woke up and rushed to the hospital to make sure that he was okay. Not to mention, whenever Becca came down to visit you and you were too busy, I was the one that cooked meals for her and kept her company. I always thought of you as my true family, but it seems like you never felt that way towards me. I'm so disappointed. I feel like I'm going crazy over here. Was I the only person that felt like that? Aren't you a real character? Are there more important things to be worrying about than who I give my inheritance to? What gives you the right to be so upset about this and call me this late at night to cause a fuss like this? Who do you think you are? To be honest, Ethan and I both couldn't really care less about who you give your land and building to. That's your money, so it's your decision. What does bother me, though, is the fact that you told Ethan to take that secret to the grave. Why wouldn't you tell me about something that big as well? We're family. It affects our futures. That's the kind of thing we should be sharing with each other. Family shouldn't keep secrets between each other. That's what I'm the most upset about. You must have been completely mistaken about me this entire time, then. I have never once thought of you as part of this family. At one point, I thought that you were commendable for doing what I asked you to do without talking back. These days, finding a daughter-in-law that will act like one without an attitude is so hard to find. But at the end of the day, I believe that a daughter-in-law can never become a true part of the family. She will always just be someone my son decided to marry. Even if you were to solve every little problem our family had, a daughter-in-law will always be just that. A daughter-in-law. You'll always be considered a stranger to me. Whenever it comes to family matters, especially money, you don't have any right to be concerned. You also have no right to be sad about who I choose to give my inheritance to. You're just some woman who helped my son carry on our family name through your son. It seems like I was living in a completely different world from you this whole time. I had no idea you felt that way about me. To think that this whole time I did my best to take care of you while thinking of you as my own mother. Now that I think about it, Ethan was never the idiotic pushover this entire time. It was me. What? I'm glad that I know how you feel about me now. The fact that you will never consider me as family, I'll make sure to take your words to heart. My mom messaged me. I guess you guys inevitably ended up fighting. I told you not to bother talking to her. Why are you trying to wage war by yourself? I just said everything that you couldn't to her. Do you know what she said to me? She said that a daughter-in-law could never become a true part of the family. And since I'll never be considered part of this family, that I have no right to worry about things like her inheritance, since that was a family matter that a simple daughter-in-law like me had no right to be upset about. Mom said all of that to you? She said that my thoughts up till now have been a mistake, since she never once thought of me as family like I did with her. She told me that I was just convenient to her because I did whatever she wanted without talking back to her. So I decided that I'm done now. I don't care if she needs me to do something for her, or asks me to come over suddenly. I'm done involving myself in the entire family's affairs. If your older brother or your sister come to visit, it has nothing to do with me anymore. Even so, how could she say something like that to you? She said we're not family anymore. A daughter-in-law will always just be a daughter-in-law and nothing more. I'll always just remain a stranger in this family. Why should I be concerned about anything that happens in it from now on? Don't tell them anything about me either. No matter if she asks about me or not, don't mention me anymore. Understood? Alright, I understand. I don't know what to do anymore either at this point. Do whatever you feel is right. What are you doing, rudely adding all of us to a group chat so early in the morning? I thought I told you not to contact me anymore. Did your conscience finally get the better of you and you started feeling bad? Aren't you going overboard at this point? How can you be this selfish? Why are you acting like this nowadays? You never did anything like this before.
That's what I'm saying. Sis, you were never like this before. Why are you acting like this all of a sudden? Are you suddenly going through puberty or something? Your mood changed out of nowhere. You aren't the type of woman to suddenly throw a fit like a child either. Why aren't you saying anything? I can't understand why you're acting like this. Out of nowhere, you suddenly started pouting and not answering our texts.
Becca, what am I supposed to do at this point? Doing what you want me to do when you say it. Coming over to help you when you want me to. Going where you tell me to, wherever you want. Is that what I'm supposed to do?
Look at how you're talking now. Whenever Mom told you to do something or asked you for a favor, you always did it without question. Even when it came to taking care of Grandma's and Grandpa's funeral service, you took care of all of it without griping once. But suddenly, ever since about 6 months ago, you've been acting completely different. You don't even return our calls anymore. When I came to visit Mom recently, you didn't even come to say hi. Is there something wrong? Is there something about our family that suddenly made you feel uncomfortable? Even if just a little bit, I feel like we deserve a little bit of an explanation so that we can understand what's going on.
Something wrong? No, there's not a single thing wrong anymore. Since I'm just a daughter-in-law and not part of the family, why is it so bad of me to not want to be involved with any of you anymore? Also, I don't remember ever once asking any of you to try to understand what I'm doing or understand what's going on. I'll be completely fine if you don't. Are you really still angry about what I said the other day? You're seriously causing a huge fuss over nothing. Yes, I am still angry about what you said. I have to go through my days now thinking about every single thing that you said to me. You told me that I wasn't a part of this family and that I have no need to concern myself with anything that happens in the family. Even if Becca comes down to visit, why is that anything that I should be concerning myself with? Am I wrong? Hey, Ethan! Why the hell is your wife acting like this? You need to keep a better rein on her. Look at how much trouble she's causing just because of one tiny thing that I said. No, Mom. She's right. I don't understand how you could talk to her that way and say those things to her after she was the only person by your side for years, helping you and everyone else in this family whenever you needed her. I don't care if you're like that towards me. I've grown up with it since I was young. Even if just a little bit. You shouldn't have said that to her. Think about how well she treated you. How well she treated me! It's not like she's some special gift sent from heaven. Don't inflate her ego any more than she already has herself. In other households, everything she did would just be considered her basic responsibilities as a daughter-in-law. Yeah, I figured you would say something like that. Even right now, the only reason that you're getting so angry is because your own personal maid who you could leave all your annoying work to has suddenly disappeared, so now you have to do it all yourself. You're mad and annoyed that you actually have to do things yourself now, right?
Come on, Janet. All right, fine. I'll apologize on Mom's behalf then. So please hurry up and come over here already.
No, I don't remember ever asking either of you to apologize. But like Mom said, since I'm not a part of this family and I'm nothing but a stranger to you all, I shouldn't be concerned with anything that any of you do. She was right. So don't worry about it too much, Becca. There's no need for anyone to apologize to me. Since I plan on blocking contacts with all of you after this conversation, I would appreciate it if you would all continue living your lives while thinking about me as someone who never existed to begin with. Looking back on everything that happened, it's easy to think that I was being too sensitive or that my reaction was excessive. But to be honest, at the time, I felt completely betrayed. More than just being angry that my husband wouldn't be receiving an inheritance from his parents, I was more hurt by the fact that my mother-in-law decided that I shouldn't be told about it because I wasn't family, so I wouldn't have had any reason to be told in the first place. After all that happened, I never again responded to any contact from my mother-in-law, and even when Becca came down to visit, I didn't concern myself with anything she was doing ever again. When my father-in-law and mother-in-law passed away, I wasn't present for the service either, since they always told me that they would leave all of the preparations up to me when they did. Maybe once Becca had to learn how to cook while she was doing the preparations, she may have woken up to all of the efforts that I put into taking care of the family and learned that it wasn't as easy as it looked. All of that being said, though, I'm thankful that my husband respected my decision on the matter. To this day, we are still living a peaceful life together without any problems. And my husband is even filing a suit for the distribution of the household assets in the event of my in-laws passing. We intend to fight for each other more going forward and hope to spend the rest of our lives together in a loving relationship.